course, thank you. Hello everybody. My name is Jeven Huey. My Chinese name is Xu Jiaoming. I am fourth generation Taishanese American. My great grandfather came to America in the 30s. Um, and at home, I speak English primarily, and right now I am able to speak some Mandarin, Cantonese, and Taishanese. I have taught Cantonese before, and so that's my only teaching experience, but I'm very glad to be here and to teach you guys English. And I'll put my name in the chat. That is my Chinese name for you.
You speak Mandarin very well. Yes. So, what's your topic you want to share with us today?
The topic that I have prepared is actually two topics, a dual topic, survival English and different English accents and dialects. So yeah.
Okay, everybody, let's welcome Jeven, Xu Zhaoming. Okay.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Oh, nice to meet you. Okay, let me share my screen. Okay. Okay, can you see my screen? Is it presenting?
Yes.
Oh, okay, very good. Okay, so our first topic, survival English. This survival English is actually a topic that a lot of English as a second language teachers use. And so, one topic that I thought was really useful for beginner English speakers and people who are learning English is directions and public transportation, because you don't know if you're going to get into a situation in which that you, as someone who is just learning English, needs to get around. So this is hopefully a guide that you can use, that you can all use in order to be feel more comfortable using English, trying to get around, trying to get to where you need to go. So that is the reason why. Okay. So I left some of this blank for a reason, don't worry. So some basic vocab and phrases that I want to introduce is the term public transit. Can anyone tell me, what do you think public transit means? Is a word that you don't understand, or just you can shout it out, you can unmute, or you can type it in the chat. It doesn't matter.
Public transportation.
Yeah, basically, yeah. This specifically, transit comes from transition. So public transition, the public transitioning or moving from one place to another. So examples of public transit. Can anyone give me some types of public transit, some types of public transportation? Maybe you use public transportation on the daily basis. Is that the train, right? I don't know. um, so some take a bus. Yep, that's one. Taking a bus is a very popular mode of public transportation. The rail system is also another good way to get around. Can anyone name one thing? Okay, yep, the rail system. Yeah, high-speed rail. We don't really have that many in America, but we're building them. Subway, yep, that's a good one. Anyone else? Just one more, maybe? One thing that's not really too popular. Okay. Another thing, I think I've seen more particularly in more like city-like areas, um, taxi services that would be considered public transportation. It doesn't move a huge amount of people at once, usually like up to 3, but we would consider it to be public transportation, at least where I'm from. And in recent years, it's kind of dying down to be seen as public transportation. Now some more public transportation that is more popular now is Uber and Lyft. Those apps that you can use. It's just like a virtual taxi service on your phone instead of calling a place and having the taxi come to you like the old way. So now it's more handy. And maybe you have taken a service like that or your parents. So another vocab is talking about like place wise. So say someone's giving you directions and we're going to use these later on, but I just want you to keep in mind to the left, to the right of, to the left of, to the right of. Um, I'm sure we know our hand directions there. And so, these are very simple phrases, but yet they're very useful, especially if we're trying to read a map or when we are given directions by someone to say, this building that you're looking for is to the right of this place or it's to the left of. That's what I mean. And also, the last piece of vocab is in front of, we know, in front of something, and behind of something, or in between. Because in the city, especially in the city, you have a lot of cramped up places. So, wherever you're trying to get to, maybe it's a store, maybe it's a hotel, maybe it's a park. It's like, oh, this park is in between this area and that area, or it's behind or in front of. So let's just use and keep in mind of this simple vocab. Simple, but very useful. Okay, let's set the scene. Can just can anyone read the first does anyone want to at least anyone want to read the first little paragraph for us? There's a word there that I want to talk about as well. How about I'll call on someone if you don't have to, but how about Julia? Julia, are you here? Do you want to try to read the first paragraph?
Okay.
Okay.
You have just arrived to an Anglophone country. For our purpose, let's say the United States.
Thank you. Julia, do you know what Anglophone means? Would you happen to know what that means?
The people speaking English.
Yep, basically. A region in which people speak English. Anything that has phone at the end, let's say Francophone, a French-speaking area, Anglophone, an English-speaking area. So yeah, that would be, or Sinophone, an area that speaks a lot of Chinese languages. That is just a little bit of something to boost your vocabulary. Thank you, Julia. Can we have Sophie? Sophie, can you read the second part, that second paragraph for us, please?
You now need to get to the airport to a hotel or a friend's house. The question is, how can you do this in English?
So I know we're all familiar with, of course, trying to get from point A from point B and to other points probably. But like we said, how are we going to do this in English? You guys already know how to do this, but we just need to do it in English. That's all. So I'm going to hold back the reins and I'll try to let you guys see how we can do this. Okay. So like we said, we're going to set the story in America, and especially where I'm familiar with, Southern California. So right now, you're at the airport. You begin your trip in the United States at LAX. LAX is the airport that we have here. From LAX, you need to go to the Ritz-Carlton Hotel. So just a bit of background to that place. Ritz-Carlton Hotel is a very expensive hotel. So I'd be very surprised if you came to America and your first place to go, you have reservations there. Wow, you have a lot of money. Wow. So that's a bit of it's a very beautiful hotel too. Even if you don't stay there looking at it, it's beautiful. It's very old too. I believe it was built in the early 20th century. Okay, so this is LAX. I'm sure have most of you been on a train, not a train. Most of you been on an airplane before, went on a vacation or anything like that. Anyone have any experiences like that? Or have we all just stayed where we are?
Yes.
Yeah.
I
What
have.
you have? What is your name? The two people who spoke, what were your names?
My name's Caroline. My name is
Caroline
Emmy.
and Emmy. Okay, Caroline, can you please tell us where you have went on an airplane and how was it? How was the experience being in an airport?
I went to New York and I went to New York and to Houston, Boston. Houston,
Mm-hmm.
and
Wow.
it was very hot, and there was a lot of people.
Okay. Well, it's usually like that. Was it really busy at the airport?
Yeah, but no, I went during COVID, so there
Oh,
was
okay.
not a lot of people.
Okay. Alrighty. Um, what was it? Emma, right? Was it, or did Emma just go?
Oh,
Oh, no. Oh, you're Emma.
Emmy.
Emmy's. Oh, excuse
Yeah,
me, Emmy.
it's okay.
Can you share an experience of going on an airport? I mean, going to an airport.
Well, I've been to many places, and it's usually quite crowded,
Hmm.
and you have to wait a long time to get in the airport or out.
Yeah, it's true. It's really true. Can I ask, what are some places you've been, and is there a difference in the amount of people at the airport going at this country or that country? Because I know a lot of countries, their airports are a little bit different, obviously, and the culture there is a little bit different.
Yeah,
Can you share with us?
like it depends. If it's like a big city, then the airport is usually like bigger. But I've been to some small cities, and like it's only like a small airport with, I think, like only one or two airplanes land there.
Okay, thank you. That's all. Thank Emmy and who went? I'm so sorry.
Caroline.
My Caroline, that's what I was thinking. I was gonna say Carol, but I was like, wait, that isn't. That's just a. Oh goodness, I'm so sorry. I'm just nervous. Um, but for those who haven't been to an airport, LAX is one of the most like famous international airports in Southern California, and so just explaining how things are. This is just when you get off. So you have all. Can you guys see my cursor by any chance? Like my thing moving around the stream, hopping, or no?
I
Just
don't think so.
no, you can't. Oh, okay. Okay, that's embarrassing. But anyway, you can see on the streets, right? World Way, and it goes all the way around. You see on the edges of it, those are different airlines. You have at the top left Aero Mexico. You have at the bottom Spirit Airlines, and right next to that you have Alaska Airlines. So all of these, what we call terminals, um, you know, the pickup spots for those specific airlines, say, a popular one would be JetBlue. JetBlue is a very popular one. I forgot what terminal that's on. But say, you're getting dropped off there and you need to go to the to your hotel, right? So that's where we're at right now. We need to go to our hotel. So an area that we usually have at the airport now is of course the taxi services, the taxi-like services like Uber and Lyft are very popular. And so usually there'll be signs to tell you where to go, and you can follow those signs. So just to let you guys know, it is mostly in those parking buildings. 3, 4, and 6. Those are the ones I've seen. And then you just call your Uber, or you pick them up, pick your location, and they come to you. Simple like that. So for this purpose, the public transit I'm talking about is like taxi-like services, because in America now, I wouldn't recommend you riding the bus or or taking the train, especially in the West Coast, because they're not really good. But if you have any questions on that, I'll of course answer them. So scene 2. Can Steven, can you read this for us, please?
Okay. The taxi-like services have
Yep.
stayed somewhat the same in the last 20 years. The most common way of travel open
Uh-huh.
arriving to your desired
Yeah.
desired
Destination.
destination would be by using apps or city taxi services. They work very similarly.
Similarly, yeah, that's very good. Very good job. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. So like I explained before, tax-like services have changed slightly in the sense of how you get those services. And so we talk about, the app is more prevalent on your phone. It's like really quick, really convenient. You type it in, you log in the app, you make an account, you type in where you want to go, and then you get a driver. You got a few drivers around, and they come respond to you, and you accept it, and you just wait, and you just go, and that's it. Woo, perfect. And we're gonna keep talking about that more. So right now, you hailed a transport. That's another thing. That's another word we can use. Hailing a transport. To hail means to, in this case, means to take. To take a transport. Like I'm hailing. That term is an old term meaning like to salute or to greet or to call. So like to hail, like, yeah, I'm sure you saw in movies, people yelling taxi, taxi, or waving at their friends, their cars coming, they're hailing them, they're calling them to pick them up. And so it's the same way. We still use that term even if we're not physically, waving or doing gestures to have them come and pick us up, because we have modern conveniences. Okay, so here we go. So if you guys can see the blue, I took this from Google Maps. That is, so at the bottom, we can see LAX and our starting location. That's where you're probably going to get picked up. And we can follow that line all the way up to the top left to the Ritz-Carlton Mariana Del Rey Hotel. Very beautiful. There's not really too much to explain here. It's just a taxi service. So most of us have used something like this before, or have carpooled. Carpool. Do you guys know what that means, to carpool? Can Does Anne, can you tell us what carpool means? Do you know what that means? Anyone want to help our friend Anne here? You can type it in the chat. You can unmute. Does anyone know what carpool means?
哎，你的麦克风有声音吗？如果没有声音的话，就用打字的。
有声音吗？
有，很清楚。
好，
Hello, Anne. Do you know what carpool means? The term?
No.
No, that's okay. I'll explain it. So carpool means to take a car with someone else, or like more than one person. And usually it's to save gas, to save money. So let's say you have like 4 friends and you all have cars and you have to get to one destination. You all are going at the same time. So would it make sense, instead of all of you driving and wasting money and gas, you would maybe take one car or two cars, and you would drive with your friend, in the same car, and that would be called carpooling. So that's just a little bit more vocab for you guys. That's CARPOOL, like car and a pool, and put together. Okay, so scene 3. Arriving at a hotel. Can Ocean, can you please tell us? Can you please read the slide for us, please?
Okay. A word on typing. Typing is customary for any act of service such as taxi-like services. You can give a type of whatever amount. Usually, for every $5, give $1 for the drive.
Yes. Tipping. That's tipping. But very good. Thank you very much. So yeah, this is one way that American culture goes different than a lot of Asian cultures. We tip a lot. Well, like we do a lot of tipping. We tip in restaurants. We tip in the cab services, taxi services. So usually at the end, if you're paying on the app, it goes in with your credit card, and you can select, 15%, 20%, 25%, or put in an amount that you want. It's just to show gratitude and to show them that you're thankful for them doing that. That's why we tip. So yeah, and we basically got to the hotel. We're at the end of the thing. So we can see that the hotel is in between Siesta Charters and in between the FedEx drop box that is another mailing station there. And it is in front of the port right there, and behind, well, no, it's right next to the Admiralty Way. That is how we can read that on the map there. Just in case maybe a friend was going to pick you up and you weren't taking a taxi service and you needed to get dropped off your hotel and they didn't know where to go. This is how you could tell them where the hotel was. So that's that. Now does anyone have any questions before I move on to our next topic? I just realized we have like 10 minutes left. So I'm going to try to be a little speedy about it. But any questions? Any comments? Nope. Okay. So English accents and dialects. So what is the difference between an accent and a dialect? Well, first of all, has anyone heard of those words before? Has anyone heard what an accent is or what a dialect is? Does anyone want to define those terms for us or one of those? Can Sophie, please? Do you know what the difference between an accent or a dialect is, or have you heard those words before?
No.
Oh, no? Oh, okay. Anyone else? You can just shout it out. Has anyone heard these terms before? That's okay. That's fine. No problem. That's what I'm here for. So let's start what a dialect is. So a dialect is a region's way of speaking referring to grammar, spelling, vocabulary, and pronunciation. For example, Taiwanese, right? Hokkien. Hokkien is, or Fukien I'm saying it so wrong, but I'm sorry. Originated in Fujian province, right? And eventually, moved to Taiwan, um, that language, and it moved to the rest of Asia, to the south, to Southeast Asia. So you have Filipino Hokkien, you have Cambodian Hokkien. So these are just some examples, and they're all speaking the same language, but they say things differently, and their grammar might be different. Like for example, in Hokkien, you can say, I'm saying this so wrong, I'm so sorry. I've learned like "tosia," right, for thank you, I believe. And then in the South and Southeast, it's more common to hear "kamsia," something like that, right? So same thing with in English and all other languages. Depending on where you're from, you're gonna say things, you're gonna maybe spell things differently, you're gonna have a different grammar, and you're gonna have different vocabulary for the same thing. So, for example, pop, Coke, soda. In America, in the South and in the Midwest, you often hear pop for like soda, for carbonated drinks. In the East Coast and the West Coast, you hear soda. And then in the really deep South, you hear the term Coke. Coke is used for everything, cola. This, that term is used for all types of soda. And another thing is you guys versus y'all. So you guys is, saying to everyone, hey, you guys. But in the South, you often hear y'all, and it's just put together, you all. That is. Any questions on that? Anything that you want to say about that we just learned? You can type it in too. Okay, well, this is a map of American English dialects. They're split into, I think that's 7. The Northern New England, New York, Southern, Midland, Northern, North Central, and Western. So it's not saying like all these people speak the same. It's saying that generally they share the same type of speaking and grammar points and spelling. So yeah, even you can make this a wider thing, and American English as a whole is a different dialect to Canadian English and to UK English, because we all spell things differently and we all say things a little differently as well, and we have different terms for the same thing. So also here, an accent is let's have Tonya. Am I saying that correctly? Tonya, can you
Yes,
please read that for us?
an accent is a Iranian way of saying words not pertaining to grammar, spelling, or vocab. American British English examples. On Tuesday, I spread butter on my bread. Eventually, water better.
So thank you very much, Tonya. So for the examples, Tonya did a really good way of how typically the American accent would say a very standard. On Tuesday, I spread butter on my toast or on my bread, right? In the British standard, it would be Tuesday wouldn't be that t noise, it's chu. That Tuesday, on Tuesday. Sometimes it's a little harder, and some British people don't say it like that, but that's standard, Tuesday. And then the last one, butter. We have that it's spelled with two T's, and a lot of words that have two T's in American English, we often have a D noise, butter, like that. But in British English, butter, butter. And then down here, inventory, water, but better, in an American way. And in the British way, you could say in inventory. I hear that often, or sometimes I say inventory, but you have that for a TORYN ending. It would be like tree, like the O just kind of goes away sometimes. So, and water would turn to water. So the vowels change too, and the emphasis, they like attack the T, water. And then better, better. That is a bit of an example there. Let me. So yeah, does anyone have any questions for me on anything that we just learned, or about the accents and the dialects, or anything of that sort?
Jeven, do you speak Hokkien?
I used to learn Hokkien when I was younger because my one of my aunts speaks Hokkien, but I don't remember any.
But your pronunciation is very good.
Oh, 哪里？
都虾。
哦
Okay.
that
同
is
学们有没有问题呢？
yeah.
I think the topic, these two talks are very interesting. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
同学有没有要问问题的呢？ Okay,
没有。
then, Caroline,
Yeah. Yeah.
do you have any questions?
I said no.
Okay. And then, thank you, Jeven. Yeah, I really enjoy your presentation.
Oh, thank
Okay.
you.
Do you want to speak some Mandarin to the students?
I'll try. 你们吃饭了吗？If so, what did you guys eat? Did you guys eat anything yet? Huh? Caroline, 你吃饭了吗?
No, not yet, but I'm eating pasta.
It's very good. Who did I feel like I didn't call on. Oh, I didn't call on two people, Ariel and Lisa. I didn't address you guys during the whole presentation. I'm so sorry. How about you guys? 你们吃饭了吗?
假爸
I see. Okay, it's okay. No need. Yeah, my Mandarin just runs dry right here. I'm so intimidated. So sorry, 老师. So sorry, Joy.
No, your pronunciation is very good. Yeah.
I
Okay.
swear I speak it a lot, but I don't know, just right now, not in the mindset.
Okay. Okay, thank you for your sharing. Yeah. And okay, I think time is I think yeah, it's now it's I think time is yeah, okay, do you have to change to another room now?
Yeah, I think I do. Yeah.
Okay. Then that's thank Jeven. Okay.
Thank you
Thank
guys.
you.
Okay.
I was so happy to be here. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.